The women won the first one, 1-0 on an overtime goal by Alex Brandon. That sealed the women's 4th victory of the season in the SAC and their 8th overall. And now the men take the field. They will try and make this the 2nd successful doubleheader for Carson-Newman this season. Both teams beat Lees-McRae earlier in the season, and they are trying to make sure that this game goes just as well as that one did. Now we'll start off and do this kickoff again. Up front for Carson-Newman are Marius Stalby and Tom Reed. Ashley Kellenak, Polly Avgusti, Evan Haar, and Alice Mesham are the midfielders, and the defenders Tobias Carlson, Stephen Pari, Thibaut Mathores, and Joe Boyd, of course, in goal. And the Eagles come into this match off of 3 consecutive losses. The Eagles sit at 4-4 on the season. They are 1-3 overall. And now with the first opportunity of the match, the ball on the far side of the field. I should mention Carlson, Pari, Thibaut Mathores, and Evan Madig are the 4 defenders for the Eagles this evening, at least to start off. Anderson now with a throw. Carson-Newman, I mentioned, coming into this match at 4-4. They won their first conference match of the year. That was at Newberry a couple of weeks ago. But since then, they have stumbled. They lost 3 in a row, 3 close games, losing to Mars Hill 3-2 here at McCown Field. They dropped a 2-1 match to Queens a week ago and lost to Lenore Ryan on Wednesday, their last match, by a score of 4-2. They gave up 3 quick goals in that match. Ball on the far side for Kellenak. The freshman into the box. Ball popped high into the air by the Trojans. Carlson now trying to find an opening, but the ball gets booted away as Carlson's shot was deflected. Now the ball comes to Stalby now, and Haar finds Kellenak. Another chance. The Englishman into the box, right into the midst of the goaltender, Devin Ashe. Ashe comes into this match with 34 saves to his credit, the 4th most in the SAC. And he has been the starting goaltender for the Trojans for 2 years. This is his 2nd year, or I should say for 1 year prior to this. This is his 2nd year as the full-time keeper. And the Trojans have had some difficulties of their own. They started off the season 3-0, but all 3 of those wins came in non-conference. They played 4 conference matches after that and dropped all 4. They beat Erskine in their last match on Thursday, so they're only 1 full day of rest between that match and today. But they have lost 4 straight games in conference. So a couple of teams looking to right the ship in today's match. Ball towards the box. Headed away by Mesham. Avgusti trying to track it down, but the Trojans in possession. Ball hit right towards the sideline and grabbed by assistant coach Kavi Luchoa, who quickly hands it off to Juan Restrepo. Long throw. Carlson trying to play defense. It comes to Pari. And he knocks it back to Joe Boyd in the bright fluorescent yellow. Boyd, the freshman, has started every match for the Eagles this season. And he had competition, did Boyd, going into training with the junior Aaron Zavolikin and the sophomore Casper Nyberg, but he won the job. Good defense there from Grayson Fry, Franz Ogawa, and now the Trojans trying to find something to do offensively as that ball's knocked ahead for Magnus Einerson. Excuse me, that was 13. That's landing good, but not 12. But a throw for Carson-Newman is the result. Eagles with the ball back on the defensive end. That is Mathores who has it. Mathores to Pari. Ball into the middle of the field, but it comes to a defender. That is Timo Herman. But Avgusti with the interception heading towards the corner. An opportunity here. Defensive help coming for Anderson. And the ball out of bounds for a throw I believe, yes, throw by Carlson right near that corner flag. And the Eagles trying to turn this opportunity into the first goal of the game. Reed with it now of Gusti. Shot blocked. Anderson has it for a second, but now Haar with a shot towards the net that's knocked away by Herman. Now Goodman with it. Goodman, one of the goal scorers on this team. He scored both of his team's goals in their 2-1 victory over Erskine. Him and Brad Duploy are tied for the team lead with 3 each. And that's for a team as the ball goes out of bounds for a goal kick for an Anderson team that has had a lot of trouble scoring goals this season. They have not scored more than 2 in any match this year. And in their 4 conference matches, they've totaled just 3 goals. And they have, of their 8 games, 7 of them have been decided by 1 goal. The only exception was a 3-1 loss to Wingate back on September 17th. Mesham trying to head it on. A whistle and a foul is going to, I believe that's going to be on Stalby for fouling Timo Herman. And the free kick given to Anderson, trying to move up offensively. Carson-Newman has really had the only offensive chances so far in this game. Still very early, not even 10 minutes gone on this match as that ball's ahead on the far side. Madig offering defense. That's Johnny Lands with it on the far side. Ball to the middle field. Ogawa trying to run it down. It comes instead. Came instead to Austin Fain. Now on the far side, ball knocked on the box. Paris right there to offer defense, trying to get it ahead to Stalby, who has 2 defenders there. Now trying to run it down is Tom Reed. Reed fighting with the ball from fighting Grayson Fry for the ball. And now Nagata with it into the corner. Matic playing defense, and now Mathores with it as the 2 teammates knock it back and forth. Ball for Ogawa. Help on the near side from Restrepo. Defended by Avgusti. Into the corner for Ogawa, looking for a cross. Ball knocked out to the right of the corner flag. I believe that was Tobias Carlson who knocked it out for a corner. And now the box will be crowded with players from both squads. A lot of white jerseys, but some golden ones as well. And no score here. 37 and a half minutes to go. Corner by Shinya Nagata, the freshman from Yokohama, Japan. Into the box it goes. Boy trying to knock it out. It comes instead to one of the Trojan players, but Armand Bashiri, unable to put that on net, just blasts a high ball for a goal kick. Boyd quickly getting it to Timo Mathores. Paris kicking to Mathores. Mathores looking ahead for a player, finds Ashley Kellenak. Kellenak towards the box, ball deflected, and it comes to Anderson as Herman moves that out. Herman looking for Lands. Now the ball knocked out of bounds. That'll be an Anderson throw, excuse me. No score here in the early going. Thank you for joining us. You're watching the Carson-Newman broadcast of the Eagles and the Anderson Trojans in a sack contest between a pair of squads trying to get their seasons back on track. Carson-Newman started the year 4-1. They've lost 3 in a row since then. The Trojans started the year 3-0. They have lost 4 out of 5 since that early start. Just a quick look at the sack standings. Tusculum and Wingate sit at the top of the conference. They each have 12 points, and a bunch of teams with 6. It's very crowded. Brevard, Leno-Orion, Lincoln Memorial, Queens, Coker, Catawba, and Marshall all have 6. The Eagles and Newberry have 3. And Anderson is the only team in the conference that does not have a victory. As Reed looked like he slipped over the ball. I believe that was Tom Reed, but the referee with a better view of it than I gives a foul. And if you're joining us on this Wednesday evening or watching the rebroadcast on YouTube, we greatly appreciate it. Tom Reed starts and stops, getting instruction from his coach Richard Moody and from the assistants on the Carson-Newman sidelines row. Reed ready towards the box. Ball flicked on. Carlson has it, trying to settle it. Now a whistle. And I'm not sure what the referee is calling here, but it looks like it will be a free kick for Anderson. As we're here in the 11th minute of the first half. Now score between Carson-Newman and the Anderson Trojans. Both teams just searching for an early chance to get ahead as Mathores beats his man of the ball, finds Boyd. Pressure put on, and Boyd just knocks it out of bounds a little too far for Tivo Mathores. And it will be a throw-in for the Trojans, excuse me. Ball knocked towards midfield. Kellenack trying to run it down, and Kellenack takes it away. Looks like he's being grabbed by his defender, and that was Grayson Fry offering defense. But not able to do it legally was Fry. And now a free kick for Carson-Newman. Looks like it will be Reed getting ready to take it again. With his teammates crashing the box. Ball in, long ball headed by Carlson up in the air over the net. Not a bad opportunity. Carlson just couldn't get that ball to the right spot to be able to direct it into the net. And Carlson, 25, was the man who had the opportunity, but it goes by the wayside. The Eagles, despite their 3-game losing streak, are still one of the best teams in this conference at scoring goals. They have 19 to their credit this season. Their 2.38 goals for average is also tied for third in the conference. For Anderson, it has been their ability to score goals that has handicapped them, especially as we mentioned, just 3 goals scored in their 4 conference games. They have 10 goals all season, which is tied for the fewest in the SAC with Newberry. But I wouldn't be surprised if their game plan was not much different from the game plan their women's team had, which is just play defense, stick the defensive players and the rest of your team on one side of the field, wait for an opportunity to come open and try and capitalize. But they have not had a lot of success doing that this season, as evidenced by the lack of scoring that they've been by their lack of goals. Ball near side for Restrepo. Ball taken away now by Mathores. Mathores to Har. Now Kellenack trying to make a run. Kellenack is trying to outrun Colin Jackson down the side and does. Ball deflected out of bounds for a corner, and mission accomplished right there, and the Eagles immediately all head for the box. And it appears it'll be Tom Reed taking this corner. No score here in the early going. Less than 15 minutes gone in the first half. Reed's ball into the box. Goalie trying to claim it. It's on the ground, but he falls on it. So Ashe grabs it, tosses it out to Restrepo. Racing ahead with a good ball, but a foul is given there. An obvious foul on Landon Goodman. We'll see if there's a booking that occurs as a result of that. And the referee's making a note in his book. And that's a yellow card for Carson-Newman. And so that's on Stephen Paré. Ball knocked toward the box. Right there is Madig, and now Har with it. Har knocked down. And that'll be a free kick for Carson-Newman. So that was Nagato got a little too physical. And boy, with a quick free kick ahead for Stalby, trying to head it on for Reed. Reed settling it with the defense, putting pressure on, just walks it back towards his defense. And Mathores will hit it forward. Nice ball from Stalby. Now ball for the box. Stalby has it. Wanting a foul are the Trojans, and they get their call. So a few whistles being blown here in the early going. As both these teams playing very physical, which is unusual for this Anderson team, as they have acquired the fewest yellow cards in the SAC. They only have, I believe, 8 to their credit. And they are generally not a team that, they're generally a team that sticks to the rules, I guess you could say. But neither team shy by getting physical early in this game. Ball being headed around, Ogawa with it. Ball comes back and is knocked forward. Is trying to make a run there is Landis. But it goes out of bounds for a Carson-Newman throw. So each team's defense being tested here in the early going. 16 minutes now, 16 plus minutes gone. Here in the first half, each team trying to find a weakness they can exploit, but both defenses have been stout so far. Another free kick given once again. Stalby not thrilled with the call, but it is another free kick for the Trojans nonetheless. Ball in towards the box, headed around out of bounds, and the foul given by the referee made that whole sequence moot. It's a free kick for the Eagles. So the referee certainly getting a workout in. And Boyd evaluating his options, finally just asking Mesham to come towards him. Moved the ball a little bit, and the referee quickly saw that and said, nope, move it back to the original spot. Ball for Mathores. Pari now with it back to his countryman, Tivo Mathores. Now Pari, no, Mesham is going to take that instead. Mesham, one of the freshmen on this team. Pari now, near side, guarded by Goodman. Ball towards the box, trying to find Stalby, but hit a little too far, and Ashley able to come out and claim it. Certainly not a bad idea, and an opportunity there for the Eagles. Good thinking, but when you try an opportunity like that, the execution really has to be perfect in order for it to work. It has to be a ball that's not close enough, that's far enough that it gets away from the defense, but not hit too hard to where the goaltender could just come out and grab it and end it in the blink of an eye. Madig now with the throw, quick toss to Mathores. No score here early on. A familiar storyline. We had no score for 93-plus minutes in the women's game before Alex Brendan ended that one with her first goal this season. Mathores to Madig. Madig making his debut here at Carson-Newman. Tonight, he missed the first 8 matches with an injury. He was actually supposed to start on opening night here against Leeds McRae, but had an injury, was unable to play, and now is finally making his McCown Field debut. His first start as a Carson-Newman Eagle. Throw being taken by Anderson. Carlson trying to get a head on it, and ends up coming to Evan Har. Har right back to his teammate Carlson. Avgusti, now Har with it. Opportunity here for the Eagles, into the box. Ashley can't grab it, and now he finally does as his defender almost knocked it away, but Ashley content to just fall on it. And that was probably the best opportunity either team has had so far tonight. Under 26 minutes to go here between Carson-Newman and Anderson in half number 1. The Eagles looking for that first opportunity, but so are the Trojans. Ball knocked into the corner where Pari has it. Ball handled by Fain. Taken away, Mesham trying to knock it ahead. Stalby trying to outrun 2 defenders, but Ashley will just come out, hits it off of Stalby. Reed trying to knock it towards the net. There was no one there as Ashley finally retreats to inside his 6-yard box. That was a dangerous play by Ashley. Good deflection by Stalby. Almost created a goal-scoring chance. But the Anderson defense remaining stout in the early going, which is a word you could probably use to describe both defenses so far. Austin Fain now trying to find it with Landon Goodman, a searching ball that just found the Carson-Newman defense. Restrepo, miscommunication there, and that ball hit high, taken by Herman, and out of bounds. Throw in by Carlson, headed up high. Mesham crashing, gets a hit on it, but it comes to a Trojan instead. Mesham trying to fight for it, knocked away of Gusti, and Haar collide, and the ball goes right to an opposing player. Hit towards the box. Getting a head on it there was Mathores, and knocked out of bounds by the Trojans. No score here, and no substitutions for either team so far in this one. Mathores for Madig. Madig defended well, ball taken away. Now the Anderson Trojans trying to find the opportunity here to get on the board. Ball knocked towards the box. It goes out of bounds for a corner kick. So Anderson setting up for this corner. This is their second of the game. Each team had one previously. Into the box. Off a head right into the chest of Joe Boyd. Could not have made an easier save. Boyd with a high punt. Mesham and Agawa going after it. Ball on the ground. Mesham with it. Trying to give it to Kellenack, making a run down the far side. Kellenack defended by Jackson. Looking for an opportunity. Ball knocked out of bounds. Carson-Newman claiming it was theirs, but instead it goes to Anderson for their throw. Under 23 minutes to go in the first half. No score between the Trojans and the Eagles. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. Header by Mathores came to Ogawa. Now the two Eagles teammates fighting for it, and ends up on the foot of Mesham. Cross court, cross field pass to Avgusti. Carson trying to make a run. Ball popped high in the air under deflection and headed out of bounds by Herman. The Eagles trying to find what would be their 20th goal of the season to grab a 1-0 lead. Parita Har. And an easy foul call there for the official is some pretty blatant grabbing by Shinya Nagata. And another free kick for Tom Reed. And Reed has scored on a pair of these this season. His last 2 goals have come on free kicks. They're a little bit closer than this. Those came from about 25 yards out. This is closer to 35. Reed putting that one on net. Ashley punches it away. Kellenack trying to run it down. Ball bounced toward the net. Deflected, and the goaltender grabs it before it goes out of bounds for a corner kick. Now the player down, that's Tobias Carlson, who is down in the box. Carlson, one of the freshmen for Coach Richard Moody, seeing significant playing time from Kongsvinger in Norway. And came to Carson by way of a high school that I apologize, I cannot pronounce. Scored 10 goals, had 9 assists during his career at Norges in Kongsvinger. And he helped lead his school to a title in the Norwegian 4th Division in 2014. And he has been one of the players that Coach Moody has, one of the young players that Coach Moody has leaned on this season. Certainly you have the leaders on this squad like Marius Stalby or Tiber Mathores, who's the defensive captain, but players like Carlson and Evan Haar, And Ashley Kellinack and Ellis Mesham, some of the freshmen, have seen significant playing time for this squad and contributed. 20 minutes to go here in the first half. Restrepo with it, now pass down the nearest side. We get a whistle. Now free kick for Anderson, the two-man wall. Now makes it a one-man wall. That's just Ellis Mesham. Ball towards the box, headed away by Carlson. Comes to Ogawa. Back to Nagata towards the box. We get a whistle and an offsides call. was that ball by Jackson. Came to Avgusti, who couldn't put it on frame. And a substitution getting ready for, actually two substitutions, as 21 Austin Fain and 23 Shinya Nagata come in. Out come Johnny Landis. Oh, excuse me, that's not Landis coming out. That is Colin Burris and Cameron Emerson, who will report to the bench. All back to Ashe. Header comes to Avgusti with a nice move. Making a run is Paris towards the net. Good ball. Actually, that's Sturgiotis. My mistake. Now Stalby hits it towards Ashe, who makes an easy save. Good idea by the Eagles, but unfortunately unable to execute it perfectly, which is what that kind of a play would require. Pass back for Ashe, who hits it right towards us, but it stays in bounds. Header hard trying to handle it with three players around him, escapes, and a foul given. And the Eagles want a card with it as well, as that was Peterson who committed the foul. Evan Haar, that was up, he's okay, and Tom Reed having a discussion with the referee as to whether or not that deserved more than just a free kick. Paris setting up quickly. Look, he was just going to get rid of it in a hurry with a quick pass, but now setting up for something more perhaps. Towards the box, towards Stalby. Head out instead by Anderson. Sturgiotis could not settle it. Now trying to into the box for Avgusti. Shot too much on it, and that will find Burke Tar Stadium instead. Magnus Einerson in, and he'll replace Bakir Peterson. So one Iceland native replaces another on the pitch. And with 26 and a half minutes to go in half number two, each team still trying for their first goal. Haar the header back. Carlson with a hard header. Well, ends up, though, going out of bounds off of Carson-Newman. Restrepo with a header that got knocked to Ogawa. Now Fain with it, a whistle and a foul given. That will be a free kick for the Trojans as Bashiri gets it back to his teammate Ogawa. Restrepo heading towards the middle of the field. Searching for a teammate, instead finds Stephen Paris. Right back to Restrepo, though. Pressure being applied by the Eagles. Now a ball into the box, deflected out for a corner. In the second corner of the half for Anderson with 25 and a half minutes to go. Thank you for joining us on the CN Eagles Sports Network for Carson-Newman men's soccer as the Eagles trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. Corner over the net, but it comes to Fain. Fain, but the ball came to Bashiri, taken away, and now here come the Eagles. Racing ahead is Evan Haar. Ball for Tom Reed. Reed with a chance to break the tie here. Goalkeeper out of his net. Ball in the net, and the Eagles are ahead 1-0. And Reed is down. He had a collision with Ashe right there after getting rid of the shot that scored the goal, and now the mood quickly turning from euphoria to fear. If you're an Eagle fan and some players calling for a trainer to assess the situation with Reed, who is still down inside the 18-yard box, and the Eagles are ahead 1-0. But the real concern now is for Tom Reed's health. Reed, the South Atlantic Conference leader with 8 assists, one of the top 5 players in the SAC in terms of points. And he was one of the leading returning scorers for Coach Richard Moody's squad coming into this season. The junior from London, England, is a critical part of this squad. And if you're an Eagle fan, you don't want to lose him. walking off the field under his own power. And that goal in the 65th minute for Carson-Newman has them ahead 1-0 over Anderson. And for the Eagles, that's their first lead since their win over Newberry. They never led at any point in their losses against Morris Hill. They were down 2-0, came back, but gave up the game winner. They were down 1-0 to Queens, tied it, but gave up the game winner. They were down 3-0 against LR and were never able to even that score up. So this is their first lead in 2 weeks. And they certainly hope that they can hold it. Throwing, knocked towards the corner, trying to run it down as lands. Unable to, it will be a goal kick. And that was Kellenack, I believe, who came in for Tom Reed. Ball headed out of bounds for a Carson-Newman throw. Kellenack, who was subbed out earlier for Sturgiotis, returning to the match with Reed now sidelined, with what we certainly hope is not a serious injury. Kellenack pass deflected. Stalby's header. Now both teams fighting for possession. Madig with it. And you wonder how much the Eagles' game plan changes now from an aggressive one, which is how they played the first 65 minutes, to a conservative one with this lead. They do have a couple of one-goal victories to their credit. They beat Leeds McRae 2-1. They knocked off USC Aiken 1-0. So they have experience holding a slim lead like this. But I wouldn't expect them to be comfortable with a one-goal lead in any circumstance. Restrepo and Fain with a little give and go. Ball knocked into towards the back line for Herman. Anderson now is going to try to press for the equalizer. And they have less than 23 minutes to do it. And at the risk of sounding cliche, this is where you see teams concede that second goal. Everyone's pressing. Your defenders are willing to take a few more chances. And sometimes that leads to opportunities on the other side for the other team because you're not playing it as cautiously as you would if you were tied or if you had a lead, because obviously you need a goal or not much else matters. Restrepo on the far side. And Anderson, now, at least in the last few minutes, has been the team with possession since that Carson-Newman goal. But the Eagles' defense is going to make sure that any chances they get come with a lot of difficulty. Restrepo on the far side into the center of the field for Nagata. Pass tried to hit, I believe that was Landis, but it came to Carson-Newman instead. Ball being knocked around, Madig with it. Trying to find Sturgiotis. Sturgiotis trying to make a move there, but the ball knocked out of bounds by Herman for a throw-in. And you can see just based on that, the Eagles not content to sit on their lead. Carson-Newman wants a second goal. They want to be able to take a little bit of a deep breath. When you have a 1-0 lead, you certainly can't do that. And now it looks like an injury on the far side. And the referee ordered the clock stopped with just under 21 minutes to go. I'm not sure who that is. But whoever it is being stretched out by Timo Herman right now in an attempt to stay on the field. And this will give both teams a little bit of a breather. The referee calling for some assistance, and that is a long run. It's about as far as the trainer would ever have to travel. All the way to the far side into the far corner of the field. 20 minutes, 55 seconds to go here in the second half. A 1-0 Carson-Newman lead as Tom Reed put away his 4th goal of the season. That ties him with Marius Stolby for the team lead, as Reed just beat the goaltender Devin Ashley to the ball on a pass from Evan Haar and touched it beautifully into the net to give the Eagles the advantage that they currently hold. And Reed, injured on the play, has not come back into the game since then. He walked off under his own power, and you would hope that it was not some kind of a serious injury, obviously. And Ashley Kellanack has since replaced him. And now play is back on. Ellis Mesham on the far side. Oh, that's Sergio. That's my mistake. We get a whistle. And the referee calling for the clock to be stopped once again, as play looked like it was about to start up behind him. And now Tom Reed getting ready to come back in, as is Colin Burris. Reed and Burris in. And it looks like Polly Avgusti will come out. While for Anderson, I believe it was Juan Restrepo who came out of the game. He's walking along the far side of the field, so it's difficult to catch a number. But I believe it's 16 Restrepo. Now the referee blows his whistle. Thrown into the box over the head of Stolby. Mesham with the opportunity, hits it too high. And into the football stadium it goes. Goal kick coming up. And now Remy Lesteru making his first appearance of the day for Anderson, and he replaces Landon Goodman. Lesteru, a junior on this squad from Mont-de-Marsan, France. No doubt on the field to try and add a little offense to Coach Michael Zion's squad. Herman with it, calling for the ball on the near side is Landis, but the ball stays on the far side of the field. Carlson with some physical defense, not to the referee's liking, as he gives a free kick. 20 minutes to go. The Eagles that far away from picking up 3 points and earning their second South Atlantic Conference victory of the season. Anderson trying to end a 4-game sack losing streak. They're the only team in the conference that does not have at least 3 points. Ball into the box, knocked away by Kellanack. Comes back to Herman. With Mesham playing defense. Far side for Nagata. Ogawa with it, looking for Fain. Instead it comes to Lesteru. Pass in for Fain, defended by a pair of Eagles. Maddox hits it towards the middle of the field, but out of the 18-yard box. Ogawa for Fain. It looked like he slipped and fell on his own, wanted a foul, but none given. Stolby with it. Stolby and his pink cleats. Trying to hit it far side for Sturgiotis, who was charging towards the net, but not enough on it. And Ashy with it. Looking to reset the offense. Herman in the center of the field. Ogawa now with it. Stolby and Reed just waiting for an opportunity or a mistake to pounce on there to make it 2-0, but it wasn't forthcoming. Fain being pressed by Mesham, who takes it away. Reed to Stolby. Stolby with Kellanack trying to make a run. Kellanack patiently looking for a chance. Now trying to find Sturgis, but a poor pass was intercepted. Carlson with his pass coming to Herman, who knocks it across midfield. Paris to Evan Haar. Mesham and his teammates, no doubt playing with an air of cautiousness. Boyd almost gave that one away in dangerous territory, but gets away to Mathores, who outsmarts a couple of Anderson players. Now Paris hits it away from the 18, and the Eagles playing with fire a little bit right there. As Boyd and Mathores almost got caught inside their own box, but they managed to get away with a little bit of a little bit of sloppiness, I guess you would say. Ball ahead, run down by Frey. Ashe gets there before Ashe Kellenack could. Header by Maddock to Evan Haar, and Haar is almost run over by Colin Burris. And this will be a free kick that the Eagles will absolutely take their time in getting away. 17 minutes, and now under 17 minutes to go in the second half. The Eagles with a 1-0 lead on the 4th goal of the season by Tom Reed. Meshing with the header out of bounds. And the Eagles, even with this lead late in the game, as a substitution getting ready to come in, is Karen Emerson, will replace Johnny Landis. Throw-in being taken by Lesteru. Even with this late lead, the Eagles are not afraid to push everyone forward and try and take advantage of an opportunity. A lot of times you'll see teams, when they have a lead, even when they have an opportunity, most of the players will stay back. Now ball knocked away, and Anderson looking for a foul there, as it looked like Emerson was being grabbed, but none given. Now into the box is Bashiri. Ball towards the goal, shot wide. As Gabriel Holman had a golden opportunity to tie the game and just hit it wide. And if his team loses this game, he'll see that in his sleep tonight. He had no one really near him. He was right in front of the net. All he had to do was really hit it straight on, and it went off to the right beyond the post for a goal kick. And boy, the Eagles, you wonder if their aggressiveness, even with a lead, is what came back to haunt them right there. That was a chance that Anderson really should have been able to take advantage of. Unlucky if you're a Trojan fan. Kellenack with the ball, trying to get by the defender. Looks like he might beat the players there, and he does. Kellenack trying to outsmart his man, but good defense by Anderson and a foul given, and Kellenack frustrated with the call. And now Ashe will move over to take the free kick. 15.5 minutes to go. Ball knocked on for Holman. Ogawa, guarded by Mesham. Back to Lesteru. Trying to hit it cross field, and it was short-circuited by Haar. Now on the far side, Emerson. With Maddock keeping a close eye on him, Emerson knocks it off of him out of bounds for a corner kick. And another chance to tie the game here for the Trojans. Less than 15 minutes to go, so you wonder how many opportunities they have left. And I believe this is Shinya Nagata taking the corner. Low ball into the box, removed from the 18-yard area by Evan Haar. And this is a throw-in which will pose much less danger, but the Eagles defense certainly not relaxing at all with the ball this close to their goal. Thrown into the box. Now Bashiri and Reed, and the ball taken away by Stalby. Kellenack knocks it ahead to no one in particular, but at the very least that'll waste more time. And way out of his goal is the keeper, Stalby to Sturgiotis. As Ashe hurrying to get back towards his net, Sturgiotis with a long ball that is saved by Ashe. If that ball had come about 5 seconds earlier, it would have been a goal. But Ashe, in a hurry, and understandably so, to get back to the net, prevents that one from going in. Herman with a forward ball. Chance for Emerson. Defended by Mathore. Shot on net, and we're tied. And a wild celebration for Anderson. And a long ball there beats the Eagles defense for the goal. And Kellenack out, Polyev Gusti in for the Eagles as they need to try and untie this score one more time. And what looked like it might have been 3 points in the Eagles' back pocket has now become a tie score again. Har and Mathores. Madig now with it. And one of these teams is going to have to come up with one more chance if they want this victory. Fry lets that go out of bounds. Burris with Avgucci trying to take it away. Ball out of bounds for a Carson-Newman throw. Leon Madig getting ready to take it. Past Avgucci. Fry hits that one. Now ball at midfield. Paris looking for Reed. Ball a little too short. Now being headed around. Avgucci with the forward pass. Reed now with it. To Evan Har with some room to maneuver. Ball into the box right to Ashe. There's no one there in a white shirt in position to get there. Ashe's throw out to Herman. And it was that long ball by Anderson that found Emerson, who was only single guarded, and he was able to get into a position to knock one by, to put one past Joe Boyd for the tying score. And certainly a letdown for the Eagles after that. Ball knocked out of bounds by Paris. This game even at 1-0. Both goals coming here in the second half. Carson-Newman scoring first on a score from Tom Reed. But Cameron Emerson striking after that to even the score for Anderson. And Emerson's goal coming with less than 15 minutes remaining in the match. And Joe Boyd is setting up for a goal kick. If you're an Eagles fan, that's just time you expected to be killing with a 1-0 lead in your favor. But instead, the heroics of Emerson and his teammates have leveled this off. Boyd's goal kick looking for Har. Header deflected by Burris. Now down goes Nagata, but the free kick given to Carson-Newman. Long ball, trying to get it to Avgucci. Instead it's headed and it comes to Emerson. High into the air towards the center of the field. Evan Har and Fain colliding. Ball eventually taken by Emerson, and he heads back towards the Carson-Newman net. Paris stepping up to defend him, knocks it away. Now trying to beat Ogawa to the ball. Still in the pitch for Emerson. He can shoot from out there. Good defense, though, by Paris. Takes away that opportunity, and Avgucci now with it. For Reed trying to make a run. Stalby wants to make a run down the center of the field. Him and Reed trying to connect. Now Reed towards the middle of the field. Ball for Sturgiotis. Cannot get it past Bashiri. Sturgiotis ends with possession regardless. Evan Har fights off a defender. Sturgiotis slowing it down, heading into the box. Goes down, gets back up. Defended, ball out of bounds. That should be a corner, and it is. Anderson tried to argue for a goal kick. I'm not sure what the argument would have been other than we want the ball. But it is a corner nonetheless, and Tom Reed will look to try and give his team a chance to regain the lead. Less than 10 minutes to go. Reed into the box, headed high but knocked away. Avgucci will race it down. Ball out of bounds. Last touch by Burris. And now Travis Witt will take the field for the first time this evening. Witt will replace Evan Har. So one more fresh body on the field for Carson-Newman as Matty getting ready for the throw. And Witt just heads that straight out of bounds. It's a throw for the Trojans now. 8.5 minutes to go here in regulation. And who knows, possibly overtime awaits for both of these clubs. Lesteru with the throw. Both teams fighting for it. Avgusi keeps it in. Center of the field. Oh, actually, there's a whistle now, and I believe a free kick. I believe they're going to say Avgusi did not keep it in bounds, and that is the call. Long throw over the head of Anderson, and the ball just comes to the foot of Joe Boyd. Paris back to Boyd. Less than 8 minutes to go here in a 1-1 tie. Mathores. Paris, far side. Trying to hit Carlson on the far side, but he cannot keep it in bounds. And Anderson now with possession. Neither team has really been able to create much since that goal to tie it up. It's been just a lot of back and forth, a few small opportunities here, but nothing that's gotten anyone's heart rate up too high. It's been both teams just kind of searching, waiting for the other to make a mistake. Long ball for Fain. The head comes to the head of Paris. Anderson and Sergio's trying to run it down. It goes out of bounds. And Anderson with the throw. He'll leave that for his teammate. That'll be Bashiri. Nagata now. Nagata for Fain. Far side for Bashiri. Trying to get it into the box, deflected away. Instead now Reed trying to possess it. And a foul given, that one against Anderson. It's certainly been a chippy game so far. We've seen 4 yellow cards handed out, 2 aside, and numerous fouls, although it has cleaned up a little bit here in the second half. And this is an Anderson team that came in with the fewest yellow cards in the SAC conference, or excuse me, in the SAC, in the South Atlantic Conference. But they have not been remiss to some physical play tonight. Fain with the ball. He was trying to get it, I believe, to Burris, but Burris was not making a run. And Joe Boyd just says, thank you very much. Boyd, ball comes to Fain. Headed high up in the air, Anderson, defended by Paris, and that'll be a foul on Paris, who needs to be careful. He already has a yellow card today. Bashiri back to Herman. Herman to Fry. It only takes one more chance to win this game. Avgusi heads that one out of bounds. 5 minutes to go. High ball towards the box, knocked away to Mesham. Reed. Back towards the box by Lesteru. Comes right back to the same spot. Now trying to run it down is Burris. Cannot keep it from going out of bounds. And right there for the throw-in is Mathores. But he passes the responsibility off to Madig. Madig searching for a teammate. Emerson and now Anderson with it. Both teams fighting for possession just outside the Carson-Newman 18. Avgusti races ahead to the ball. Ogawa playing defense and a foul given. And I'll be honest, I thought Avgusti just trying to tripped over the ball there, but the referee disagreeing. And Ogawa was not pleased with that call. Matic taking the free kick. Avgusi trying to hit Stalby. Now to Reed in the center of the field. Carson-Newman wanting a foul there, but the referee deciding against it. Ball for Burris. Far side for Anderson. This could be a chance for Anderson here late in the game. Ball in the box for Bashiri. Knocked away by Boyd. as the freshman goalkeeper keeps the game even. And now Carlson crushes that one across midfield. Headed to Ogawa from Herman. Less than 4 minutes to go here. Team still even at 1. And we have reached what is, for all intents and purposes, golden goal territory. Any goal scored right now is basically going to be the game winner. This is about where Carson-Newman conceded that goal against Mars Hill in their 3-2 loss about a week ago, in which the Eagles tied the game at 2, but gave up a goal in the 88th minute that ended up being the difference. Now, one ball being knocked on the field to try and speed up the pace of play. Gets knocked out as Paris towards the box, over the head of Carlson. Run down and hit upfield by Fry. Mathores pops one up high. Ball kept in by Avgusti. Now Fain fighting with Mesham. Fain moving ahead as Witt comes to defend him. Ball ahead. Right there is Bashiri. Chance for the winner, but it's grabbed by Joe Boyd. I beg your pardon, that was Nagata who made a great run, but the ball was just a little bit too far out in front of him. That looked like it would have been an easy goal if that pass had been on target, but Boyd on the spot to make the save. Now hits one ahead over the head of Stalby. Fain's pass comes to Mathores. Now Paris with the header. Nagata looked like a handball there, and that sure enough is the call. 90 seconds left in regulation. We are that close to our second overtime period of the night. And Coach Zion shouting instructions out to his players as we close in on the final minute of regulation play. And this might be the last opportunity for either one of these teams to end this before OT. In the box, Stalby is there, but it gets headed out before it gets to him. Mesham, ball in the box, and now that looks like it'll go right over our press box towards the softball field behind us. 50 seconds to play. Madig for Reed. Defended well. Ball comes right back to Madig. A ball into the box here, but it gets booted out by Herman. Paris trying to settle it. Now Carlson. Ball to Sturgiotis, but it's a handball with 30 seconds to go. And the Eagles trying to set it up quickly with time winding down. 25 seconds. Tom Reed setting it up with the clock ticking. And boy, wouldn't this be a fine place to score a goal if you're an Eagle fan. Reed towards the net. Header! Saved by Ashe. Boy, that had game winner written all over it. And that'll do it for regulation. The Eagles just missing a chance to win this one in the closing seconds. Ashe just got to the ball in time. That would have been a heck of a way to end the contest. But instead, we have overtime for the second time today. 1-1 is the score between Anderson and Carson. We'll be back in a minute with the first overtime period here on the Eagles Sports Network. When Tom Reed scored his goal with about 20 minutes to go. But they could not prevent Anderson from coming back, as they tallied one with about 15 minutes left in this contest to even the score at 1-1, and we were unable to resolve that in 90 minutes. After Reed's goal in the 66th minute, the 77th minute goal by Cameron Emerson put us in the position we are currently in. And could we possibly see two Eagles game winners in the same evening? Who knows? Stalby to Mesham and Tobias Carlson. Sam Jenkins, who scored the Eagles' first goal of the year here against Lisa McRae, is into the game for Matic right now, or to start this overtime, I should say. Ogawa with the ball off of Sturgiotis, out of bounds for a throw. Bashiri with the throw in. Ogawa now with it. Now Carlson with the throw. Sturgiotis trying to run it down, takes it away. Now Stalby has it. For the read for the winner! No! And the Eagles with their second near miss of the game winner in a minute or two. As that ball, it looked like it was about to cross the line, but just found a way to get around the post. And Reed with the corner kick. Ball towards the net. Being foot first at the 6-yard box, deflected just wide. Looked like a corner, but no, the referee saying that the goalkeeper stayed in bounds. And it's as if there's a plexiglass, like this piece of plexiglass covering up this Anderson goal. For some reason, the Eagles just can't get another ball in. Burris with it. Paris now comes to Emerson. Bashiri. Now Austin Fain. Trying to dribble through a few defenders. Cannot. It's taken away. And now Mesham. Tobias Carlson. Under 8 minutes to go here in overtime. Number 1, we are even at 1 goal apiece. Ball ahead for Reed, trying to flick it on for a run. It goes out of bounds off of Anderson. Carlson with the throw in. Thank you for joining us on the Eagles Sports Network for Carson-Newman men's soccer. Women won earlier today. Their 8th win of the season. The men trying to pick up their 4th win of the year. Ball knocked down by Mathores to Joe Boyd. And charging in there was Landon Goodman. Able to get it away was Boyd. Ball ahead for Emerson. Emerson with players in gold jerseys crowded in the box. High cross. No one there to get to that one. And Avgusti chases it down. Stalby has it taken away on the foot of Lesteru. Now Stalby takes it away from Fain. Ball to no one in ball trying to get it to Reed, but not enough on it. Now Avgusti tries to get to Reed and does. Reed with the only Carson-Newman goal tonight runs over Austin Fain, and a frustrated Fain slamming the turf in anger at that decision. And 10 yards certainly not being given there by Johnny Lands. He's going to need to do some backing up, which is what he's doing. 10 yards is what he needs to give Tom Reed. And almost everyone in white trying to find the goal. Reed into the box with a good ball, but Ashley's right there. It's a little bit too much on that. Tossing that for Emerson, the goal scorer for Anderson. Trying to make a run as Johnny Lands on the near side. Ball for Goodman. And out of bounds, I believe, for a corner. And indeed, that is the call with 6 minutes to go. Corner for Colin Burris. It has been a long day of athletics for here at Carson-Newman. The football team played LR earlier today. We just finished up an overtime game for the women's soccer teams. They won 1-0 under the men's team in overtime as well. A lot going on here in the Jefferson City campus. Ball out of bounds, I believe, for another corner, and sure enough. Five minutes to go. And the same player, Burris, taking this corner as well. Headed out by Mathores, right back to Burris. Ball right back in. Past a sliding player. Comes to Emerson. Looking for number 2. Instead, hits it to Fain. Ball deflected out. Ogawa with it. Right back towards the Carson-Newman goal. Sergiotis now trying to find Reed. Reed making a run, defended by Ogawa on the far side. Stalby heading down the middle, along with Evan Haar. In goes Reed, looking for probably a corner. Didn't get it. It hit the flag. Wow. Now Reed sends that one in, headed out for a throw-in, as Grayson Fry was right there. Boy, you'll never see the team come closer to getting a corner and not get one. The ball literally hit the flag. Sergiotis gets past his man, then gets tripped, and that'll stop the clock, and that will almost certainly be a card. And that will be Arman Bashiri. His first yellow card, the third for Anderson, who came into this match with the fewest yellow cards in the conference. And Tom Reed and the Eagles with one more chance to win the game. Jenkins, Mesham, Stalby, just to name a few, inside the 18. Reed trying to find Carlson, who runs over the goalkeeper, and that will probably be a yellow card for Tobias Carlson. And Carlson is still down. And the clock will be stopped once again with 3:43 to go. And it looked like the goalkeeper would have been the one to get the worst of that collision, but Carlson's still having trouble getting up. And Ashe and Carlson having a little bit of a discussion, and Carlson just gathering himself really quickly, and Ashe saying, hey, get out of here. This is my goal. Towards midfield for Fame, but headed by Mathores to Stalby. Now have Gusti. And the ball back to Devin Ashe inside the 18. Hits that one right towards us. And one of our camera people unable to get to that one. Mesham into the box, trying to get to Sergiotis, unable to get it there. Colin Burris brings it ahead into the box, trying to get there. And now we get a whistle and a foul given against the Trojans. Under 3 minutes to go. Boyd's free kick finds Stalby. Mesham hits it high towards the 18. Herman's ball finds Haar. Avgusti to Stalby. Now Stalby and Avgusti with it. Ball knocked out of bounds by Fain. Avgusti taking the throw. Mesham, he could score from there, but blocked by Anderson. Goodman trying to find Johnny Landis, unable to. Avgusti now guarded by Fain. And ball out of bounds, I believe, off of Carson-Newman. And Mathora is missing that when it comes to Goodman. Goodman near side, into the box. Trying to get there is Goodman, looking for his second of the day, but it just goes out of bounds for a goal kick. As good defense by Carlson prevented him from having any angle to get the ball on net. 1:35 to go in the first overtime. Carlson and Sergio Otis run over right there. And that is the 37th foul of the night. A lot of free kicks tonight, folks. 22 against Anderson, 15 against Carson-Newman. 5 penalties, 5 yellow cards, handed out. 16 corner kicks, and all that for 2 goals. Mesham, first Stalby, back to Mesham, looking for the winner. On net, header gets knocked out and away from Stalby. Now back in, high up into the air, Jenkins looking for the header. And we get a whistle, and the referee saying that'll be the end of that. And now he's asking someone to come. I believe it's Jenkins who's going to get the yellow card here. And Jenkins is saying, what did I do? But it's a card nonetheless. 40 seconds to go in the first overtime. And with that, the final 40 seconds of overtime start ticking away. Ball knocked out of bounds. Clock still had not started. So that was a free play right there. Carlson ahead for Reed. Reed, good defense, though, being played by Anderson. Ball out of bounds. This will be a throw. 15 seconds to go. It looked like another yellow card being given right there. The referee booking somebody else. I'm not sure who. And Carson-Newman with 12 seconds to go. And Pauri will hit this one to the box. They had a chance with about this much time left in regulation, but now it's just a throw-in instead. Pauri back to Boyd. Boyd will hit a long one, trying to find Stalby or Reed, but it goes wanting. And the clock will run out on overtime period number 1. So we will go to number 2 here at McCown Field between Carson-Newman and Anderson. Don't go away. For Tobias Carlson. And Carlson limping around. We're going to need another player. Ashley Kellenack was ready to come in. And now Carlson goes down. Carlson just asking to be stretched out by Tom Reed. And Anderson with a chance now as Sam Amure comes in for Carlson. Amure was the player who scored the Eagles' game winner in their victory over USC Aiken a couple of weeks ago. And I can guarantee he'd love another one right here. Avgusti can't get to that. Free kicker comes to fame, but Avgusti now with it. Avgusti leaving the throw for Sam Jenkins. Jenkins, I mentioned, scored one of the goals in the Eagles' victory over Leeds McRae. That was their first goal of the season, and he scored it on a header. So the Eagles trying to get as many goal scores on the pitch as possible. And now in comes Ashley Kellenack. Kellenack in for Ellis Mesham. Mesham had played every minute of this contest. But now Kellenack, who's been kind of in and out, will look to finish it off. And another guy who would love to finish it off with a goal. I'm going to bet there are 10 Carson-Newman players who would love to end this game right now, the one exception being Joe Boyd. Ball over the head of Kellenack. Bashiri trying to run away with it. But it stays in bounds, comes to Sturgiotis. Dionisi cross the field for Avgusti. 6:15 to go in OT number 2. Reed controlling into the box for Kellenack, looking for the winner. Now just looking for a cross. Amira coming to help. Into the box for Sturgiotis. past the goal. It comes to Avgusti. Avgusti makes the move into the box, but there's nobody there to finish. Perfect ball by Avgusti. I mean, you couldn't have placed it in a better spot. There was no one there, but unfortunately, the closest players were wearing gold, not white. A great idea, but just not someone there to execute it. And Murray now with it. Kellenak, guarded by Bashiri. Crossed past the goalkeeper. Reed now with it. Avgusti waiting. Pass knocked out of bounds. That will be a corner. He had, it looked like Avgusti waiting at the top of the box, totally uncovered, just waiting for to be handed an opportunity, but Reed either didn't see him or thought better of giving him the chance. But it looked like Avgusti had was in prime, had some prime real estate to try and score a goal. Ball into the box, headed past Ashley. Now it comes out, trying to run it down is Kellenak. Shot towards the net, and we win. The Carson-Newman Eagles have won in overtime again. Ashley Kellenak ends it. And the 3-game winning streak ends with it. So Ashley Kellenak with his first goal of the year. His first goal as a Carson-Newman Eagle. And a heck of a goal it was to end this game in the second overtime. And a fired-up group of Eagles it is down on the pitch as they pick up their 5th win of the season, their 2nd in the South Atlantic Conference. And they collect the 3 points that was up for grabs this evening. So the Eagles win it by a score of 2-1 here at McCown Field. Thank you for joining us. I'm Mark and Sarah, and thank you for tuning in for what turned into almost 110 minutes of soccer here at McCown Field this evening, ended by Ashley Kellenak. Actually, a lot more soccer than that, considering the women's game went to overtime as well. But thank you for tuning in. The final score once again from McCown Field: the Carson-Newman Eagles 2, the Anderson Trojans 1 in 2 overtimes. Thank you for tuning in. Now, don't forget, both teams will be back here on Wednesday when they both play King here at McCown Field. So don't miss that. But in the meantime, the Carson-Newman Eagles get the 3 points they wanted. They knock off the Anderson Trojans 2-1. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.